This video presentation of Tacos Energy Navigation Limited. It's a New York Stock Exchange listed company trading our ticker TNP. So look at a 1-year chart. See TNP suffered quite a fall from up over top of $9 all the way down to about $3. Pretty nice bounce there on the first trading day of December, but slinked back down. Still just above that 52-week low. Mildly green, about a 0.5% closed up yesterday. Still going to keep this on radar as it's just a sheer bottom bounce play because there's a pretty substantial upside to the first real levels of resistance. MACD just dropped a bullish cross. Obviously still early on, but it's flattened out. 12's passed through the 26 EMA. That's early signs of a potential trend shift. PPO, ADX most definitely working themselves into a pincher position. Again, that's a strong reversal setup. Kind of got in that position earlier on in the year. Didn't do too much for a bounce, although this rise right through here is not too terrible at all. More than 20% from 470 up to 570. Moving forward though, as should be expected, MFIs holding lower half of the indicator, very bearish. Accumulation distributions reflective of a large sell-off. Chicken money flow actually found a little bit of a base and very early signs of moving back towards zero. CCI just kind of fluttering right there around negative 100. Bottom feeders want to see it come through negative 100. That's an early on buy signal. Full stow also showing there's just no momentum in the play. Holding down, coming in and out of oversold territory. It is interesting to note that Trix looks like it's going to drop a bullish cross. And being that that's a lagging indicator, that's an early on sign of bullishness if that happens. Not getting much from the relative strength index. They're looking for a technical bounce. It's trying to come out of oversold territory. So that's pretty much what I'd expect for this. Again, this is just a sheer bounce play at this point. And then a matter of following along with it, see if this can identify this as a true bottom and try and move into some sort of uptrend. So what I'd be looking for is the bottom support there at $3. Ultimately that has to hold. There's not really much other support in sight between Thursday's closing price at $3.21 and those levels. Now if it can push upward, it's going to meet some resistance at $3.50. But again, that's not a bad move, just shy of 10% to even meet that level. But then above that, there's a little bit mixed in at $4, which also has a 50-day moving average, adding some dynamic resistance to that point. But I don't see resistance really getting strong on this play until up near 475. Clearly a strong area of support throughout the last year. Came back and served as some resistance right here in October. And if this does grow some legs and bust through these secondary levels of resistance, I'd expect that to be a very tough spot for it. But again, it's a 50% move from current levels. Volume stayed pretty constant, 200,000 shares traded. As always, I'd want to see some volume surges at resistance points. And if it happens to slink back down a little lower to around $3, the two ways of looking at that is if it's a red day, I want to see volume levels shrinking. But if it does dip down to it, it makes a bounce off of it, then I'd be paying attention to volume levels increasing because people are seeing it as a buying opportunity at that old support level. Interesting chart. We've been trying to flip back and forth between uptrending and downtrending stocks. This is surely just set up as a bounce, but one that's not looking too bad at this point. Just pay attention to that bottom support. Those are the things that I'd be looking for in the TNP chart, but as always, merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching and trade smart.